The teaser starts with silence, then suddenly Georgia looks terrified in a way we have never seen before. Not angry, not manipulative, not confident. Terrified, and the craziest part is that Ginny might actually be the one changing the most in Season 4. Fans thought the danger was coming from Georgia's past, but after this teaser, it feels like the entire Miller family is about to fall apart from the inside. Every shot feels darker, every conversation feels colder, and one tiny moment in the teaser may have secretly revealed the biggest betrayal of the entire series. If you missed it, don't worry, because this changes everything. The ending of Season 3 already pushed every character to their limit, but the Season 4 teaser makes it look even worse. Georgia spent so long controlling every situation around her. No matter how dangerous things became, she always found a way to survive. That was her power. But now the teaser shows something completely different. For the first time, Georgia looks like someone who is finally losing control. There is one quick scene where she sits alone in a dark room with tears in her eyes, and it feels very important. The old Georgia would never let herself look weak. She always smiled through chaos. She always hid her fear behind jokes or manipulation. But now the fear is visible on her face, and fans immediately noticed it. It almost feels like she knows something terrible is coming, and she cannot stop it anymore. At the same time, Ginny feels completely different in the teaser. She does not look confused anymore. She does not look like someone trying to figure herself out. Instead, she looks calm, quiet, and emotionally distant. That change is honestly more scary than anything else in the teaser. Earlier seasons showed Ginny struggling with anger, identity, relationships, and trust. But now it feels like all those experiences are slowly turning her into someone harder and colder. There is even a moment where she gives Georgia a look that feels almost identical to the way Georgia looks at people when she is hiding something. That cannot be accidental. The show may be hinting that Ginny is becoming more like her mother than she ever wanted. The teaser also hides a lot of tension inside very small moments. One fast scene shows police lights flashing outside at night. Another scene shows Georgia looking over her shoulder like she is being watched. Then there is a quick shot of Austin looking nervous while standing alone. Fans are already making theories that Austin could become one of the most important characters in Season 4. He has seen too much at such a young age, and children in shows like this often carry secrets that later explode into huge problems. What if Austin finally says something he was never supposed to say? What if one emotional moment destroys everything Georgia worked so hard to protect? Even the music in the teaser feels different from older seasons. The show always balanced drama with humor and fun energy, but this teaser feels heavier. The music is slower, darker, and more emotional. That change in tone may be a warning that Season 4 is going to focus less on romance and more on consequences. And honestly, that could make this the most intense season yet. Georgia's past has always followed her like a shadow, but she usually escaped before things became permanent. Now, there may be nowhere left to run. One detail that fans keep replaying is a very short conversation between Ginny and Georgia. The teaser cuts the dialogue quickly, but it sounds like Ginny says something that shocks Georgia completely. We do not fully hear the line, but Georgia's reaction says everything. Her face drops instantly. It feels like Ginny may finally know something bigger than anyone expected. Some fans even believe Ginny could end up protecting her mother in ways that cross dangerous lines. That would completely change their relationship forever. Instead of Georgia protecting Ginny, we may see Ginny protecting Georgia. And that role reversal could become the emotional center of Season 4. Another huge moment in the teaser involves Paul. His relationship with Georgia has survived so much chaos already, but now the trust between them feels broken. There is a coldness in the way they look at each other. It almost feels like Paul is finally realizing he may never truly know who Georgia really is. If that happens, their entire marriage could collapse fast. And if Paul turns against Georgia, things could become much worse for her legally and emotionally. He was one of the few people giving her stability. Losing him could push Georgia into survival mode again. But maybe the most shocking thing about the teaser is how isolated every character feels. Even when people are together, they seem emotionally far apart. Ginny looks disconnected from her friends. Georgia looks emotionally exhausted. Austin looks scared. Nobody seems safe or comfortable anymore. The Miller family has always survived by staying together, even through lies and secrets. But the teaser is asking a terrifying question. What happens when the family itself becomes the problem? And then comes the final shot of the teaser. Georgia standing completely alone while everything around her feels dark and empty. No smile, no confidence, just silence. It is one of the most powerful images the show has ever used because it feels like the beginning of the end for the version of Georgia we know. The woman who could talk her way out of anything may finally be facing something she cannot escape. And if that happens, Season 4 could completely change the future of Ginny and Georgia forever. Season 3 ended with the Miller family standing closer to disaster than ever before, and the Season 4 teaser makes it feel like the damage is only beginning. What makes this teaser so interesting is that it does not rely on loud moments or huge reveals. Instead, it creates tension through silence, facial expressions, and tiny details that feel wrong. Every scene looks emotionally heavy, like the characters are carrying secrets that are finally becoming too difficult to hide. The biggest change is how tired everyone looks. In earlier seasons, even during painful moments, the characters still had energy and hope. But now the teaser gives the feeling that years of lies, pressure, and emotional pain are finally catching up to all of them at the same time. Georgia especially feels different. The teaser presents her almost like a person trapped inside her own life. There is one moment where she stares into a mirror for a few seconds without saying anything, and that scene alone tells a huge story. Georgia has always survived by creating versions of herself. She changes depending on who she is talking to. Around Paul, she becomes charming and controlled. Around her children, she becomes protective and playful. Around danger, she becomes smart and fearless. But the teaser makes it look like those different versions are starting to break apart. She no longer seems sure about who she really is. For the first time, Georgia looks emotionally lost, and that could become the most dangerous thing for her character. The teaser also hints that the outside world is finally closing in on her. Several fast scenes suggest investigations, pressure from authorities, and growing suspicion around the people closest to her. What makes this terrifying is that Georgia cannot manipulate everyone forever. Every lie leaves damage behind, and Season 4 may finally show those consequences fully exploding. Fans noticed that almost every shot involving Georgia uses darker lighting than before. She is often shown alone, standing in shadows or empty rooms. That visual choice feels intentional. It creates the feeling that her world is becoming smaller and colder. Even when she speaks, there is less confidence in her voice. The fear underneath her personality is becoming impossible to hide. Ginny's storyline may become even more emotional this season because the teaser suggests she is emotionally shutting down. Instead of reacting loudly like before, she now watches everything quietly. That silence feels important. Sometimes the calmest characters become the most unpredictable because they stop showing what they really feel. The teaser repeatedly shows Ginny observing people carefully, almost like she is studying them. That behavior feels very similar to Georgia. It raises the possibility that Ginny is learning survival skills from her mother without even realizing it. Earlier seasons focused on Ginny trying not to become like Georgia, but now the teaser hints that she may slowly be accepting those traits inside herself. One scene that fans keep discussing shows Ginny sitting alone while scrolling through something on her phone with tears in her eyes. The teaser cuts away quickly before viewers can fully understand what she sees, but the emotional reaction looks serious. Some fans believe she may discover new information connected to Georgia's past. Others think the scene involves Marcus and the emotional struggles between them. Either way, the teaser clearly shows Ginny carrying emotional weight that nobody around her fully understands. She looks isolated, and isolation has always been dangerous in this show because characters make their worst decisions when they feel alone.